told a lot of stories, a lot about a lot of some of your favorite personalities, some of your favorite celebrities, actors. Welcome back. Um, you must have, I mean, you were on the air for so many years. You had many more than you chose for the book, but some of the really funny ones, the Gino Vanelli and Tina Louise, were those, how did you get to tell, well, please tell one of them, you choose, because those, I was in stitches.
I can't possibly tell the Gino. That thing is just vile. Although I will tell you, we have a show coming up at the Saban Theater in Beverly Hills, and Gino Vanelli is performing. And I'm obviously using that event to promote the book. And the book also includes what we think is going to be our biggest seller, the audiobook, because it's me telling the story of my radio career. And I told that story in the book and in the audiobook. And at the Saban, as Gino is about to come out and do his set, that audio clip is going to play that tells the story to this room of 2,500 people, what I did at dinner at the Polo Lounge with Gino Vanelli. And yeah, it's impossible to tell, but I will tell you another one. And if you want to hear that, the only reason I hold out from the Gino story is not that I'm embarrassed, because I'm not. I crapped in my pants while having dinner with Gino. Who doesn't? But it's so long to really get the point out. But let me tell this one, because this one really stood out to me. We were about to have Lionel Richie on the show, and I'm a big fan. Who wasn't? I mean, he had some of the greatest ballads ever written and performed, this man. And I had a story that I wanted to tell him because I thought he might respond to it. When I was a kid, my parents would pile my sister and myself into the car, and we would take this 6-hour drive down to my aunt's farm, my mother's sister. And it was a working farm. It was wonderful and great to be down there. I'd never seen anything quite like that. To watch a cow eat I could watch it, I'm not kidding, for hours. There's something about it. But what I would do is my mother would give me a couple of dollars, and I would walk the mile up the country road to the Torch Cafe. And it was this little gas station, mostly for truckers, because this was the main road that left Alabama and took you into Florida. So the truckers rode on this road all the time. So they would stop into the Torch to get gas, get some repairs done, and get a bite to eat. They had a small diner there. And I would go up there and I would sit in the only corner booth they had, and I would eat a cheeseburger, fries, and a Coke and watch the truckers drive by. And Lionel was there on the show. He did 2 hours of live. It was I can't explain to you how amazing it is to watch a musical artist that is at the top of their game 3 feet away from you performing these great songs. And I told him that story on the air. No, off the air. It was off the air. I hated that. I wish it had been on. I told him that story because he's from Tuskegee. That's why I told it. And the Torch is in Tuskegee. And he looked at me and he said, "Are you messing with me?" I said, "No. You're from Tuskegee. I thought you might know the Torch." And he sat back, realizing my story was genuine. And he said, "When I was in college at Tuskegee Institute, I wasn't a very good student, and I was also in the Commodores, and we were struggling. So it wasn't a great time. Nothing seemed to be working. And every Sunday morning, I would go to the Torch. It was the only time I had to myself to just relax and just kind of unwind, think about the past week, and look at the week coming up. And I was sitting at the Torch, and it was a beautiful day, and I was relaxed and sipping coffee. And I thought to myself, this is just a wonderful time. It's so, compared to my week, this is just so easy." And he took out his notebook and he wrote, "This is easy. like Sunday Morning, which became his hit, Easy. And he said, I wrote that song sitting in that same corner booth where you ate your cheeseburger. I could have never known that that would have come out of his mouth, and I was pissed that it wasn't on the air. But those are from his mouth to my ears. He did. And that was one of the greatest stories I think I'd heard, and it wasn't on the air.